Hello, Jared.
Hello, Jared. I got a Molly here.
Yes, and I'm failing at calculus that Elijah is attempting to help me out with. And we end up getting distracted by bad tattoos and smoking giraffes.
That.
Jared, I don't have enough time on my hands to make this video. There we go. So Jared, I've got a few things to talk about in this video. And I'm going to be juggling one additional object for each thing I have to tell you. So first of all, Jared, I want to talk to you about this vlog. We've been doing this about 2 weeks now, and it's clear to me that the schedule's a little off. So I'm wondering if we're going to try to keep a schedule to this, or if we're just going to kind of go with whatever works. So that second thing, Jared, this week I was looking up online piracy to see the impact it had on our country and the world. And I found, according to the article, which I will link to in the description box, that in order to get the minimum royalty, a song artist has to receive 20 cents per song that is downloaded. And with existence of BitTorrent and other free services that essentially steal music from the artist, these song artists are not getting that money, and it is destroying the music industry. So I propose a website idea, a website that compiles artists' music into one place and offers downloads for fairly cheap prices, but will give that 20-cent royalty to the artist. Some of that money could be made up via ads, or it could be made up via paid subscriptions from people. I think this is a really cool idea. I just don't really know how to make it yet. But if you know anything about website design, that would be great if you can help out that. Or if anyone who's watching this would like to help out and know something about website design, you please comment below and we will get back to you and make this happen. Because I think the music industry especially is an industry that needs to stay alive. Okay, Jared, thing 3. I just made it 1/3 of the way through my poetry book, Actors Make the Best Liars. And I'm making significant progress on it. I should have it done by the end of the summer, if not earlier than that. Although I don't know how to get it published, and that's a subject I would like to talk to you about. If you know anything about publishing, I'm really interested in finding something for my poetry book. I'm sorry, Jared, I can't do this anymore while juggling. It's too hard to think about this and to think about your question. So I'm just going to answer your question now. So on the subject of consciousness, which is what I think you were talking about, the trouble with consciousness, Jared, is that the only way that you can describe this consciousness is from a subjective sense. And consciousness, as far as scientific observation is concerned, does not exist. And so, to answer your question from an objective sense, it's impossible to identify consciousness, let alone examine it. For instance, you don't know that anyone else is conscious besides yourself. You don't know that they're not just philosophical zombies, which I'll put a link down below in the description box is what that is, if you don't know what that is. I'll go with my point of view from this, though. I'd say that consciousness is created by the mechanics in our brain, and everyone is conscious. But this would also mean that things like robotics and man-made devices could become conscious, and that is not a purely human trait. For instance, many animals have probably some form of subconsciousness. Maybe they don't have a consciousness quite to the extent of what we do, but they probably have some form of consciousness that we do not take into account in everyday life. I don't think that we give animals credit enough for their mental capacity. And Jared, that leaves me with thing 5, where I ask you a question, except for I'm going to back it up with some discussion here first. Okay, so I have been thinking a lot on the topic of optimism versus pessimism. And it seems like the majority of people are pessimistic towards the future. They believe that things will, in the end, turn out bad, that humanity's running themselves into the ground, and that we're just not very good off. However, all the evidence, it seems, and the more I listen to intelligent people, I see videos on YouTube of these people with doctorates and people with masters and people with all these degrees and all this knowledge and background of technology and science. The more I find, it seems we're actually doing pretty darn well. And it's actually getting better. As John Lennon said, it's getting better all the time. I guess I'm wondering, why don't we see more optimists around, Jared? With that, I'll leave you.